That was the booze talking, wasn't it, that time?
Probably. Who knows? I mean,
Oh, it was. Yes, you'd be in hospitality all day and
Good morning.
Yeah.
Well,
Disinhibition, it's called. Two in the
Erica's joining,
meeting room.
and they're all coming
Just
in
admit
now.
all. Admit all. Oh.
It's already, I'd already done
All
that.
right then. Okay. Off we go.
I'd already done that. Morning, Anaya.
Morning, Anaya.
And Erica's still joining. So, morning, Erica.
There's a trickle of
Morning, Sue. Morning, Nigel.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. So, yeah.
Last day of the month.
Woohoo!
I hope everyone's close to their goal, if not already having gone by it. If not, then it's looking at what you've been doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And reevaluating. What is it? Review, check, and adjust. I can't remember the exact term.
yeah.
And that's what everyone should be doing in relation to what they want out of their Zinzino business. That's as long as you're clear, of course. And we talked about that in early January. And what was it? I can't remember what the statistic is. David, you'll probably correct me on this, but it's something like 90% of people who make New Year's resolutions fail by about the 15th of the month.
I think it's Monday, the 17th.
Is
or
it?
so. It's
So-
Yeah, over and done with. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
Cancel the gym. Cancel this. Cancel that.
I guess we're all guilty of that.
Kelly.
Morning, Kelly. I guess we're all guilty of that to some extent, unless you made a kind of non-negotiable commitment to yourself in relation to what you plan to achieve in the year. And then you are doing the daily disciplines in order to make it come about. That doesn't necessarily mean you hit every goal.
No.
But what it does is as long as the goal's clear, then you get closer and closer towards it as you do the work that's needed. And it's only taken me however long I've been on this planet to realize that it's actually the daily discipline that matters the most. But it is, of course, and because it's an accumulative process. Anyway, that wasn't wasn't what we were going to start on, really. I just thought I'd sound that bit off. But it's just constant review of the goal you've got and continuing action in relation to it.
Yeah.
Because we all know that the success only comes out of the daily activity, and that's what we all want, is that leverage, isn't it? The thing that Zinzino genuinely offers.
Yeah.
Who's picked up on the news that we bought a company called ItWorks? And are you familiar with what it is and what it does and all that kind of stuff? Okay, they've got Sue, talk about what they do.
So the initial thing that they started out with was a patch that you could actually put on, and it would actually reduce weight. So it's
It drops your mouth, was it?
yeah, you can't eat then.
Yeah. It was a bit like gaffer tape.
Be cheaper.
Yeah, it's not cheap product, by the way.
Yeah, struggling here. So they started off with the patch that helped you lose. They also did like a skinny wrap, they did a body wrap, and that was the foundation of what they did, and it was quite successful. And then obviously they've introduced other products. They've got thermogenic burners, things like that. So it does fall in line. It's I've never been attracted to them because I think any sort of weight loss and
let me pick it up.
Sorry, I just need some water.
They've got a big distribution network in America, and this is in line with Urian and Dag's avowed aim to expand the business. Now, it's not a small company. It's actually an Irish business. I don't know whether you were aware of that, but bizarrely, and Tom knows. In fact, Tom's oh no, he's not. He's still
here.
One of our partners who used to be with us in New Ways many years ago, his nephew married into the owner's family. They've got this huge distribution business in the US, which is essentially what Zinzino's bought it for. However, I wanted to give you the headlines in relation to what this means from a kind of a partner perspective, because it's an all share acquisition. Now, what that means is they're not paid any cash for it, so the balance sheet's not affected. That means that the strength of Zinzino as a business is not exposed to this acquisition in any way whatsoever. There is a dilution in terms of the number of shares that are being issued, but they have to qualify for the earnout element of it, which is an additional essentially a bonus as part of it if there is performance. What it will do, and it's not a small business, as I said, it's got a lot of partners, especially in the US. So they'll be absorbing those over the next 2 or 3 months, maybe longer. We don't know to what extent that will impact on the business itself for some time moving forward. Is it a healthy business? Well, we don't actually know, because it's privately owned. So finding numbers is quite difficult in terms of what it's actually doing overall. But we do know that historically, it's been a significant sized business. But we had a conversation with this friend of ours in Ireland on which date, Thursday or Friday, I can't remember which
Wednesday
day.
or Thursday.
And he was saying that it's actually slid backwards quite significantly. And because
I checked on Business for Home, which is a good indicator really for how well or how badly a company's doing. And Ted Newton has always been there in the firing line and showing what can be and what has been. And so I looked at ItWorks, and it had gone from 780 million back in 2015-16, and it's now down to 100. Oh, it says 130 million.
There'll be some lag in that as well. So it's probably less than that, because it's an $700 million a year business being acquired by Zinzino would be a very big bite indeed. And fraught with big risk, in my opinion. But if they're sliding backwards, which is what I suspect has been happening, then it's become palatable in the sense that it fits strategically, and more importantly, they're not paying cash out for it. Yeah. So it doesn't affect Zinzino's existing position. The third thing to bear in mind, they're not buying the inventories. They're not taking on any of the risk in terms of loans or commitments in that respect. So it's just going to strengthen the business from Zinzino's perspective, given that the integration of the partners is reasonably successful. They've got a fairly extensive product portfolio, and I suspect a lot of those will disappear after they've absorbed the business into.
They'll get rid of them.
Overall, they'll get rid of them. Yeah, they'll sell out the product. But
it's a bit like Hans and Heidi. I mentioned, I think last week that Hans and Heidi, we've seen a number of the products that were on the Hans and Heidi portfolio disappear. They just gone. Yeah. And it's like they've used them. That's it. They're not going to replace them.
Well, this is in line with what Dag has always said about it's a Darwinian. Just a minute. It's a Darwinian approach to the way that product survives. If there's demand, it will get integrated if it's good enough, and that's down to Colin to make that decision. By the way, or Colin's team. And some months back, he did a piece on a direct call about how they do this, their evaluation of the product, the ingredients, the existing market, the penetration, blah, blah, blah. All those things that you look at when you launch any product. So the extensive nature of their portfolio is something that will get cut down anyway, because Zinzino has always said, balance oil is our hero product. Everything we do is going to center around the core concepts of essentially the extend xenobiotic and the gut health products, which are getting extended all the time, and they've got a couple of things in the ItWorks portfolio that might well fit, and of course balance oil itself. So it's that basic concept that they'll center all the decisions around.
So it's a safe place for the partners. It really is a safe place for their existing partners to come into us, because they've got more products that they can actually work with as well. But it's I think they'll do a great job, as looking after them.
There's very little that I've been able to find about intellectual property and patents or anything like that. So
they did say on the release that the intellectual property had been.
Well, it would be, yeah. I mean, the intellectual property that they have, whatever value that has in it, is being acquired, because that's what you do when you buy ownership. So that's not at risk in any way, but it's more a question from my perspective as to whether it's got a relevance in relation to moving Zinzino forward in terms of its avowed aims, and equally ours, because we're all associated with it. So what I'm really driving at, why it's important, is it's actually quite a big acquisition. The potential net effect on the share dilution is about 5%, which is not huge overall. And it's not really that's the risk from Zinzino's perspective anyway, because it's got organic growth around the world, regardless of the acquisition growth that it's currently got. So it's just another piece of the jigsaw puzzle, if you like, in terms of growth, and this growth through acquisition. Anyway, Kelly, you wanted to say something.
Yeah. So the reasons for Zinzino acquiring it are the distributors. Right. Okay. And my understanding from listening to Arian is that everything they acquire, not only, or DAG, maybe he said it, it's not only if they're looking for a distributor base, but that something within the company has to align with what Zinzino's ethos is. Let's put it that way. You've transferred the cough, Sue.
We've all had it.
No, it's just the talking. So what is it? What's the ethos within the company that they like, or what is it?
We don't know yet. We'll find out more on Monday, because it'll be, no doubt it will be covered by the director call.
Yeah.
Because these, especially acquisitions of this nature, which is fairly significant, it's going to have an impact on all sorts of people. So it'll get covered in some detail. And I'm sure we'll get a reflection of why they see the product fit. But actually, it's not the major reason that they do these things. The first one is cultural. If they can't work with the people, they're not going to buy it. So right at the top of the list of considerations are the people. So they must have done some work on talking to the leadership. And again, we'll get more news of this on Monday, I'm sure, and we'll share it with everyone anyway. But they must have done some work on finding out more about the leadership, the kind of people they are, schmoozing them in terms of the potential for the acquisition. They probably brought them all across to Zinzino in Sweden and Norway. That's quite commonplace. If you go back to the ACN acquisition, they brought all the key leadership across and the company itself to talk about the acquisition itself before they put in the bid to acquire it. So they'll have been going through a very similar process. So if they don't like the people, they're not going to have them. Simple. And we all know that people who don't have a fit with Zinzino's values don't last.
But it's interesting. So one of the partners in the States said to me, their products aren't that good. And I went, okay. And I said, there must be something that aligns with Zinzino, and that will come out in the fullness of time.
Well,
I'm sure. But it's
in curiosity terms, Colin did a presentation on Lean Shake on Monday. If you listen to the Monday's director call, you'll have noticed it.
Yeah.
And he talks about it as one of the great products that Zinzino's got. It's undersold as far as he's concerned. Now, when you start to look at ItWorks' portfolio, so much of that is to do with weight management and so on. So maybe there are some things in there that are going to come out that we don't yet know about, and they'll be given some emphasis in terms of perhaps raising the profile of Lean Shake and the weight management product, because it's a massive problem, pardon the pun. But it is, I mean, obesity around the world is just increasing, especially in the developed nations. Diabetes is doubling every 10 years. It's just a horrendous problem. And so anything that's going to help to bolster that part of Zinzino's business, I think, is a good thing. And they're beginning to give some emphasis to it. So maybe that's just it's the starting gun on a new emphasis on our weight management products.
Not 100% sure. I mean, and that's that's the same with Valentus as well. So Valentus have got Skinny U, they've got the glucomannan, they've got the I think I'm right to write
Coffee.
Oh yeah. Oh right, that's interesting. Oh wow. But and was it effective though?
So I don't think any of those are now on. Sorry, Erica. Erica's. I don't think any of the Valentus products are now on the website.
Yes, they are. They're in the brand shop.
Yeah, it's still in the brand shop.
That's what. Okay, thank you.
None of them have been rebranded yet. Erica, perhaps you comment.
Sorry, I couldn't figure out where to get the button to speak. Yeah, I did have it in the salon years and years and years ago, and it did work, but actually convincing people to do it was another story, because they were just convinced it was just water retention, and that as soon as I think the problem with it is that there's so many different guidelines with it, of like aftercare that you need to follow. And that is the biggest thing, is that aftercare with everything like this, especially weight loss, is that people don't follow it. They think it's a miracle cure. It's a follow up.
We had very similar thing with New Ways. We had a body wrap system, and it was really effective. I mean, you could see it, and we used to do it within the salon as well. So there's lots of nuances, and how effective they are, and with the products that they've got, I don't know.
I think that in terms of this,
you can take them or leave them, can't you?
Well, exactly, and especially with the existing partnership, most people haven't been thinking in these terms whatsoever. So it's not top of mind for the vast majority of us. We tend to be focused on balance oil and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The existing ItWorks partnership, of course, will come in with their own belief system, because that's what happens. And because it's the nature of the tribe, isn't it? The tribal belief is part of the tribal belief. And changing that is a cultural thing that takes time to persuade people. So it is it's going to take time for it to filter through. We'll know more on Monday, because I'm absolutely sure they'll be talking.
Yeah, they'll definitely cover it on Monday.
Anyway, I wanted to flag that, but also to just flag to everyone that this is going to continue throughout this year. Zinzino will continue to acquire companies.
It'll be interesting to see who else goes or comes into the fold. And it's that their thing, and Orion said it on Monday in that last director call. He said, the aim, or maybe Hilda, 100,000 distributors this year. So by hook or by crook, they're going to get them.
So you want to say the acquisition is to get that distributor base, is to increase it?
It's part of it. It's a package, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's again, like Orion always has said a number of times in the years that we've been listening to him in relation to acquisitions. Culturally, it has to fit. Product, something has to be there in terms of product. They then go through the marriage process, I suppose, because that's what it is. If you can't get on with each other, why would you work together? It doesn't make sense. So, and they don't happen overnight. This will have been going on for some time. And there are numbers of others in the works, because we know that. We just don't know what scale they are. And ItWorks is probably the biggest one it's acquired so far. Yes, Kelly.
So do you know anything about the timeline for the algae?
They said it's going to be at least a year.
Well, at convention, Orion was saying that they'll be on stream with product usage in April of this year.
That's yes. No, I remember that, but I'm just curious. Have you heard anything more? I suppose
not yet.
No,
because and again, it aligns with if that's coming online, then we have all the distributors, and we have 10 million. The vision is 10 million in 2035 and 100 million in 2050. So it's like putting the ducks in a row. Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
That's exactly what it is. It's there's a dual strategy. One is organic growth, and the other is acquisition growth. That's what all companies do if they've got strength. And this is driven partly by the shifting. There's a convergence of trends here, from a business perspective as much as from a market perspective as much as anything else, because the fundamental shift is the fact that the numbers don't work for the traditional MLM companies. I've said this numbers of times. When you look at their models, they're just, there's too much in the middle for a product to be priced to meet a market demand. So what's happened is a lot of these companies, they're just selling to their partners. They're not selling out. They're not really building retail businesses at all. And Zinzino's ethos right from day one is we want customers. And when you look at the customer ratio to partner in Zinzino, and you look at it and say, terms of Herbalife or anybody like that, it's chalk and cheese. The two things just don't, well, more like oil and water. To kind of extend the analogy is, there's what Zinzino's doing is the oil, and everything else is water in terms of the way the market's developing, the industry is developing. And we're going to see more and more and more companies, I've said this before, we're going to see more companies going to the wall, more shifting to affiliate models, more of them effectively coming out of MLM entirely. And that's a good thing for us, because Zinzino's model is still about customers, and it's the subscription model.
It's never faltered from.
It's never ever faltered
day one, which is many a time, I think Steve Morley said, that, he remembers seeing him standing on stage way before he'd even been introduced to Zinzino at an event in the States. And he was invited to go to that. And he said, and I remember seeing him on a stage and saying, we're going to have a customer-driven business. We want a customer-driven business. And everyone laughed. Everyone laughed. They're not laughing now.
Now, there are numbers of reasons for this. One is perversely the internet, because now information is not, none of it's hidden anywhere. Sue and I are old enough. We go back to the days of steam-driven MLM. In essence, that means that we were still doing things manually, and having a direct relationship with a company meant you had to have a certain amount.
We didn't even have mobile phones.
You had to have a certain amount of volume in your business and a certain number of people. Up until that point, you always worked through your upline. So you got your product through your upline. You got paid by your upline.
I remember years that we were with NSA for a while, and NSA, we were sales coordinators, and NSA, when they got to, I don't know what, the direct or whatever,
3,000 to go direct,
and then we had to pay them.
So we had to work the commissions out. You can imagine what was going on there, can't you? Not from us, but other people.
No.
It was daylight robbery going on.
Yeah.
But so that's the point of start, if you like. That was when MLM was flying, literally. I mean, it was booming all around the world, literally. And then over time, what's happened is the technological landscape's completely changed. Now it makes it very, very easy for a company to generate to use an MLM model online. But equally, what that does on the other side of the equation is it gives people access to information. And you plug in, you just go in and go do a general search on, say, Herbalife and their churn rate, and it's horrendous. And that's in the open. So what that's done is it's exposed companies to regulatory interference in a way which they would rather not have, because they're at one level they are complete Ponzi schemes, and at another level they're just shaky in terms of finance, and they pop and drop all the time. You can see that over the last 10 years. Many companies have just gone up and come straight back down again.
Interestingly enough, I was on a call the other day with a group of people, and someone was doing a presentation on their new venture. And I'm thinking, oh, gosh, what's this? And I know this girl. She used to be with Modere. And obviously now Shatley have taken over the Modere distributorship and everything. And, it's all very fickle. But she's now also become Live Good. And I just kind of went, okay, my kind of, I switched off completely. And I just went, she's got, for someone who's actually been involved with Modere, and, to be fair, Modere have got actually had some really good products. And we were with New Ways, which was predecessor of Modere, for nearly 20 years. So I know their product range. And even though the names changed and everything, they were reasonably good. But all of a sudden, I kind of going, so they jumped on this, and she said it's really good. She said, you don't have to do anything. You pay $9.95 a month, or $9.95 a month, and you get the overspill. And anyone who joins underneath you, you get a commission.
That's a
and I
Ponzi
just
scheme.
often I was like sitting there.
I think David's got direct experience of that, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got pitched a few times on
loads of times, and as soon as I say, well, I would never get involved with anything like that. Oh, but it's so easy. So easy, but no relevance to it. and a company has to have at least 75% of their income going to customers.
Yeah.
One of the things that when I heard of Zenzino going through these acquisitions, my heart sank a little bit, thinking, my God, we're taking on Valentus. They've got how many thousands of distributors? Gosh, that's diluted. And then you listen to Eric Worre, and I've just written down there's 120 million people within network marketing worldwide. 100 million of them change companies all the time. So you've only got the core people like us that are committed to a company building. Everybody, the other 100 million, are swapping to the next best thing on the marketplace. And Nigel just picked up a relevant point: is that so many of these companies, because they haven't got customer income, they are buying products themselves, highly inflated. And as soon as something like this happens, it's a great opportunity for a distributor who has hyped the product, hyped what the earnings, to say, oh, the company let me down, I'm leaving. And it takes it off of the distributor with all their core people.
Yeah.
So those people go out of those. It's a great opportunity if we do link with someone who was with them to say, well, let's show you how we do it at Zenzino.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I've been talking to a lady for, oh my gosh, a year and a half now, in Belfast, and she's interested, and she was with ItWorks. I said, how's that going for you? She said, great. And then I did another call with her, and I said, well, great to catch up with you, and just literally going through. And then she said to me, last call I was on, she said, I just don't think I'm very good at selling, because I've basically made nothing in a year and a half, or in however long. And I went, and she said, I've seen people go past me. And I went, is that because of, she said, oh, you're targeted to do a certain amount on social media, you have to do so much posting and what have you. And I went, okay. I said, do you want to know how it works properly? And I said, and then bizarrely, so I've just messaged her this week and said, have you heard? I would love to show you how being in the right team, and all the other thing that about new acquisition. So the Valentus people, they brought in Sarah Patel into corporate, because she was like part of their corporate team. And she was saying, she said, oh my God, there's just such a different animal to the Zenzino group of people. And she said, they're all trying to do Valentus the way they did, Zenzino the way they did Valentus, and it's not working.
No, right.
So they're kind of diving down. And I said, so, if this girl comes back to me and say, well, what's to stop me joining? Nothing to stop you joining, but do you want to work with a team that actually knows what they're doing? Or do you want to fumble around and have the same results as you've been having?
So you used a great comment in the car the other day, and I didn't write it down. But the you were saying about, are you achieving what you expect?
Orian's words.
What were they?
So what I used to say to her, are you achieving everything you think you deserve?
That's it.
Out of your business, and when you're talking to someone who's already in the industry, they can either lie to you,
which most
or
do,
they can be honest.
And remember, the tribe comes first. So
and in most cases, people go, "No, I'm really doing really well." And I know some people. So I've got a friend who's networking, and she's flying with Tropic, the skincare, and they're UK based only. And she's absolutely flying with Tropic, and she loves it. And I just said, that's perfect. But you realize that you can actually improve your skin, you can improve your gut health, you can improve this by adding this in. I don't want her as a partner, because she's too focused on her beauty. But
great customer.
Should be great customer.
So coming full circle in terms of the shakeout that's coming, it's going to accelerate, because the customer model has to take over. So we're going to see greater shakeout in terms of companies going to affiliate models. There are going to be more unhappy distributors out there, some of whom will be looking for a proper home. And a lot of the channel hopping will continue because is probably going to accelerate as well. So what I'd encourage you all to do is to just target a few of those people as part of your outreach.
Fishing.
Go fishing.
Fishing. So on that note, we're leaving tomorrow for Dubai. Yay, sunshine. Can't wait. We've also got the One Mondo event, and I know that David's coming, and various other people. We're going to miss you, Kelly, because I know you were coming, but you're going skiing instead. So
no commitment.
No commitment. Bloody useless. But she's been very, very good at coming back to me on a daily basis about how many connections she's made on a daily basis. So well done for the commitment that you have achieved already. But I am then, when we come back on the 19th, we've got a couple of weeks. So I have been making connections on LinkedIn with people in Ireland. So in Galway and Dublin, because we're going to probably be in both places. So we have no plan at the moment as to what we're going to do, but I know it would be great to have a meeting, at least, even if it's a hotel foyer meeting, that we can actually do one-on-ones with people. So that would be beneficial. But already we only started this kind of campaign on LinkedIn yesterday, and I've had five or six people come back and say, oh yeah, tell me more.
Very simple introduction. I'm coming to Ireland. I'm expanding my test-based nutrition business. I'm looking for some partners. Would you be interested in a quick chat? That's it.
I'm coming out. Yeah, I'm coming over on between this day and this date. So I'm going to be there from the 2nd of March to the 9th of March. And Kelly is putting me up, bless her. And so that will be great. But let's try and if you've got people in Galway, if you've got people in Dublin, let's connect them, because everyone knows people in Ireland. Everyone. It's a bit like the Indians, isn't it? There's always an Indian or someone that Oh, I know someone in India. But it's let's get them as many people as possible. The reason that I'm saying that is that nothing happens without having that plan of action. And I know Kelly is aiming for Diamond in March because she wants to go Crown for convention. And so I'm 100% behind that. Tom, that means that you're going to benefit from that volume that's coming underneath you. But also it means that you can probably get to Diamond as well without too much effort, but you need to have some effort. And that can be beneficial. So it's really trying to just make sure that we have as many people doing the activity to be able to make sure we generate enough volume. And it's not about me getting to it. It will happen when it happens. That's fine. As much as I keep on saying, oh my God, I missed Crown this month. Oh my God, I've missed it. And it really pissing me off, to say the least. Every time I'm on the call with Kirsten and Dave, and you're going, well, you should be at least. And I went, don't go there. Yes, I know. I'm aware of it. Thank you. Don't need it rubbing into the salt and the lemon juice.
Foxtrot Oscar comes to mind.
But it's it's one of the, and as you well know, we've been ill for most of this month, as a number of other people have as well. So this ECBX had been a bit of a damp squib, really. It was not as beneficial, and we all set to go on like 1st of January, and it was like, here we were coughing and spluttering and feeling rather ill and still got a bit of the cough, but up and running.
Who's up for what for March? Because we know we don't actually know yet whether March is going to be the ECBX month.
No, we have no idea.
So there's a strong suspicion it will be. So Dave, Jax, what are you planning?
Yeah, no, our aim is Diamond. And not only that, we want to take Erica Executive and Platinum. She's got to come with us. She's got to come with us. We had a long
Does
call.
Eric-
Well, Jack's had a long call yesterday. That's our aim. So we're going. We're going to drag her with us. We're going to. We've got to work closer as a team. Got to
Yeah.
work close. And saying about working as a team, I've got to thank Kelly. I had a call with a guy called Seamus. I rang Kelly and said, "Is there any chance you could jump on?" She come on. I just kept quiet. He's had his test. It's bad. He's in Dublin, and I will link him with you guys if possible. Get to meet him, and I'm sure he'll be really good. The other thing, Kelly, your call that you did about how to look after customers has completely transformed what we've done. I had a new customer come on this week. I had such a nice conversation with her. And I've got a list of all the little areas where she would like to see improvement. And it made it a lot easier with the order, because when I went on to order it, I told her exactly what she was getting for 189, exactly what it was, how long the subscription was. I come up with a little thing to say, look, if you can imagine you're going on a 120-mile journey, each day you did a mile. When you get to that 120 days, you've got to get home. So you're going to be on another 120-day journey to get back to where we are. That is your 8 months. And then you can make a decision. And I said, the cheapest way is 2 tins of sardines a day. That's going to cost you. That's going to cost you. That's going to cost you £2 a day, or you can stay on balance oil. And it was really strange because she messaged me that evening and said, "Dave, I've just opened a tin of sardines." She said, "I thought I'm going to do what Dave said. I'm going to try them." And she said, "I put my fork in. I couldn't do it." She said, "If it works, I'll be on it forever."
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
But thank you. Yeah, it's having that note, and now I've got a structure, and I've actually said to her, "You tell me when you get started. We'll get your test done. I will ring you in a week, and I've committed over the 4-month period just to
excellent. Well done.
keep in
And
touch."
for anyone who hasn't watched that video about Kelly doing the customer retention,
Worth it.
hi.
Yeah, go on. So go on.
Then it's in the Flawless Diamonds. You'll have to scroll up. It was a few weeks ago now, but it was definitely worthwhile. So if you just scroll up in the chat, you'll find it. Do watch it, because it really is. And it's made such a massive difference to Kelly. She was telling me that, we all kind of just like leave them alone, don't we? And it's being more proactive about, why they joined, why they spent that so many €100 or pounds, and then what they're looking to achieve.
I think the other thing, of course, it also offers the opportunity to help them get their product for free through the referral process. So, if you leverage their connections, once they've been on it for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and they begin to notice some differences, you increase your opportunity to gain more, and indeed help them. So it's, it's a win-win-win, whichever way around it is. This is the difference between hunters and farmers. This is one of the perennial challenges of all sales. Is some people thrive on the chase, the hunter, and others thrive on planted stuff, and harvesting. And they're in some ways they're kind of mutually exclusive, because it's not easy to do one when you're keen to do the other. We all talk about the outreach, and yes, it is important, but actually managing your customer base is probably more important. The American Sales Association a number of years ago did a real study on how easy it is to sell to someone new. And they worked it out that it's 5 times cheaper to sell to someone you've already sold to. The customer acquisition process is much more complicated, much more time consuming, and it's more costly. So we're all missing a trick if we're not managing our customers. And for reminding us about all that, Kelly, I'm deeply grateful.
Yes, very grateful.
It protects us. You need your 25 to open the whole plan anyway. Manage them, because you'll get more out of them if you are managing them. There's no doubt about that. And yes, you're still going to lose some, but at least you're going to lose them. You with me?
But I haven't found for me, Nigel, taking it through an actual structure and going down, and things that I've missed while going through. when you look at the bottom, the £189, it says 60% discount. It tells you
Yeah.
what the retail price is. So for me,
Yeah.
I just endorsed to her, if you were buying this without the subscription, you would be paying £423. But because you're going on the subscription, it's all there.
Exactly.
It's all there. It wasn't me telling her. I could actually show her, and that's something I've never done before. So again, it was only Kelly slowing me down.
Again, was what Orion was saying on the director call.
Listen to the last 5-10 minutes of the director call.
And he was saying, you know, creating a reason and a value to what you have. So he said, you know, kind of, I think he used €300 as a you know, kind of an amount. He said that's going to cost you so much. But he said if you do it with, you know, with the subscription, then we can offer you, and the reason we have the subscription is because we want you to get a good result. We want you to have that continuity. And if you explain that in the first conversation, then people aren't surprised. I mean, the amount of people I've had, and I've gone through exactly the same process and told them, and money's come out of my account. I went, yeah, because you're on a subscription. But I haven't had any product. Yeah, because you get it every other month. Oh, okay.
So have you got, Dave, have you got worked up a checklist then of the things you need to cover?
I haven't, but I will. Certainly, this call went so well doing it that way that I will, and I'm going to produce a customer sheet, name, dates, everything on there.
Is that what you do now, Kelly, or do you just do it off the top of your head because you're so used to it?
So I haven't got round to doing what Dave's doing with a sheet. I need to. That was on my list. So if Dave wants to do that, that's fine. Because actually, what you need because if you have your list, then when you go back to ring them, you like Dave says, you don't have to remember what it was they joined for or their aims. You know what they're looking for.
Kelly, if I do a basis of one, I'll send it over to you, and perhaps you can
tweak it.
That'd be really helpful.
Yeah. And the other thing.
Go on, Kelly.
The other thing is that to remember. So when I joined, I just talked to people about balance oil because that's what I knew and that's what I was comfortable with, and I just went for that. Then I talked to people about the protocol, and because I was on the protocol, so I understood the benefit of the protocol then. And so then I said, well, look, here's the benefit of doing actually your cellular health, your gut health, and your nutrients, and I give it to them all. So now what I've started to do is I still tell them the benefit of the protocol, and I sometimes say the Viva at that time, sometimes I bring it later, but I tell them the benefit of cell, gut, and nutrients, the absorption, and the reason for those three. And then gauging on how their response is, I say this is a modular approach. So you can actually do it with your first one. If you have to choose, I said this is obviously the best to do cell, gut, nutrients. If you have to choose, then you're going to choose the balance oil and the test. That's your basis. And you're going to add. And I said, so if they decide to do that, then I say to them, well, Zinzino is the most fabulous company that I just cannot tell you how lovely I feel they are. And when you have a subscription, you can actually try the other products at the lower subscription price because they know that they are of benefit to everybody. So by putting in place your subscription for your oil and your test, you could, if you wish, at this point, to put in 1 tub of Xenobiotic and 1 Extend, or 1 thing of Viva, and you can try it out. Now, I always say to them, 1 month is not necessarily going to be the whole, give you the whole experience. It won't. However, what it will give you is, are you going to be committed to take them all? Sort of thing. So you have a play around is what I've learned to do that, to see it. And the other thing to remember as well always is they can, if they lock into a Premier subscription, being that the test and the oil, you can add in the other products. It's not the ideal to add them in as not Premier subscriptions, but they can put them in and then subtract them out. The other ones. So there's a play around there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't actually say that right at the beginning. I then bring it in. What the conversations allow is once you've got somebody started, it allows you to say, how would you like to try? Because I think you might find a benefit. We can add it to your next order. We can leave it there in your, so that it will come out, keep coming out. But if you don't like it, we can take it back out or something. You know, it gives you that play around.
Also, if they're on a subscription, you can't take those out. You can't remove it.
No.
But that's, and you have to, you know, Kelly's well on her way now to Top Team 200. Woo! Which
and sometimes you just have to let go of that too, because I had somebody, a friend, text me the other day and say, can you just stop this subscription? Because I have it all over the house. It's every cupboard sort of thing. Now, I have tried to get to this guy to talk, you know, several times. And when I see him and all these things, and he says, yeah, he's taking it. No, he hasn't been. So, but he's a friend, so I can't do anything about that. When he said that, I said, sure, absolutely. It's terribly easy to cancel. First of all, I started, your subscription is actually not with me. It's with the company. They know that, okay? They just don't think about it. And they say, you know, it's terribly easy. You're going to just email that you've been getting emails saying, thank you for your order and blah, blah, blah. I said, you just reply to one of those and say, please cancel my subscription. And then I said to him, there is some Zeno. I'm pretty sure if I go and look in your account, there will be some Zeno cash. Would you like me to look at that before you cancel and see whether you'd like to spend it? So I'm going to go in, look at that. Now, if I look at that, I'm pretty sure what prompted him to talk to me was another order had arrived. So if I look at that, he's going to have to make the decision. Does he want to spend that money and wait for the next shipment, which is 2 months, or does he want to cancel and lose money? He can decide whatever he likes. I don't mind. It just, and again, it's the same detachment. I want the best for everybody who joins, and I want to give them the best, and I want to support them on it and help them, because I know it's going to be of benefit to their health. I know their health will improve. I know they're going to be preventatively reducing the risk for all life. So I know that. I can tell them that. I have that belief. However, I'm letting go the attachment to, it's the same as having an attachment to a no. I'm looking at it in a different way. This is since I've started the Eric Worre thing, where if you have 10 reach outs and then you have somebody who will sign up for the, be it the protocol or be a partner, the cost of those 10 reach outs is whatever you make on the last one. So it's not that I'm seeing those people as all noughts anymore. I'm seeing this one price as a divided price over the amount of people it took to get there. And I'm sort of looking at it like that in the partners, in the customers as well. So,
yeah. So thank you for that. I appreciate you.
I think it'd be really helpful because this is something that most people don't pay huge amounts of attention to. Once they've got a customer, they just kind of, they just let it run because it's on subscription, you know. And you're clearly demonstrating, you and Dave in particular are clearly demonstrating that's a pretty dumb move. You know, by omission, really. The more we talk to our customers, the better off we are, actually. Even if they are going to turn around and say, look, it's not doing anything for me, I'm going to come off it. Well, like I said earlier, you've got, rather than it just happening. So yeah, definitely customer management is something we don't do well enough, I suspect.
But as he's your friend, or I think you said it's a he, as he's your friend, maybe go and question, why did you join in the first place as a customer?
What were you expecting from it?
Did you get what you...
I suspect he joined to help me. I suspect that was one. I suspect that was one of the reasons, even though I told him all about the health and things. And I also suspect he has a huge belief in the medical system. He's absolutely focused on there. And he's a very high achiever, but he's also very, I would say if you want to put labels on people, he's on the sort of spectrum of ADHD or, you know, all that whole business. Okay. And so he's very focused here. And I've never been able to get him focused on the product if he had applied that focus to the product, he would have gone with it. Now, he came on at the very beginning when I started. So I didn't have the belief in me and the product. I had a certain amount, but I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the confidence. So I didn't drive it right from the beginning. And now I don't think it's the place to come in. He's not in that place to hear it. So it's easier to say, no problem. You know,
Hopefully he'll use the products eventually.
he might. I mean, I've told him so many times, and he knows no. So it's just it's to know where to step back. This is a step back situation.
And was he well out of balance?
Oh yes, and he's not healthy looking at the moment. I mean, no, he absolutely needs to be on it.
Yeah,
he just but
since you've got that product sitting in all your cupboards, would it not make sense to use it? But
habit form.
obviously, yeah. Anyway, we're not going to go round. We're flying out first thing tomorrow, and we are away till the 19th. We will be available for Zooms if anyone needs us, but limited time, so morning time. Kind of, we were saying kind of 8 o'clock in the morning till kind of 10 o'clock. And the reason being was we're 4 hours.
Our time or your time?
No, 8 o'clock your time, UK time, till 10 o'clock.
That doesn't mean that outside those hours we couldn't be available, but just ping us first.
It's just that 4 hours difference, kind of if we're out with the family or whatever. And obviously we've got the One Mondo event from the 6th to the 8th, 9th, I can't remember.
If Kelly, if you want to run a team meeting next week, you're welcome to. We'll call in because it'll be about 1 o'clock, we think.
I'll be gone.
You'll be gone.
She'll be skiing. She'll be on a mountain.
I'll be fine.
David's going to be out with us. Unless anyone else wants to volunteer to run a team meeting, we will probably, if we can, we'll keep you posted. But we may not be able to, and if we do, it'll probably be quite short because of whatever's going on at the convention. But it would be nice to call. In fact, what we'll do is we'll call in. We'll get Dave or whoever's around to come and say hi. We'll give you a flavour of what's going on, and share some of the love in relation to being at an event like that, because they are very powerful. And anyone on this call should be looking forward to the one for next year. It'll be similar sort of time. Whether it's in Dubai or not, we don't know, but we'll find out from Marco. There will be one. We just don't know when it will be. But so we'll kind of we'll see. We'll let you know. We'll just we'll wing it.
I'll leave it in the calendar, so it will be. Even if, as I say, we pop on and go, hi,
goodbye.
You miss you. You should be here. All those things, but I think that's pretty cool. But trying to be focused, and I know that some people didn't achieve what they planned to achieve this month. That's fine. Let's make next month.
So you're setting up for your March ECBX. So that we suspect we'll know tomorrow. We should know what the campaigns are tomorrow. My expectation, if it is going to be an ECBX month, is there'll be a qualification for it in February. So we'll know tomorrow what the campaigns are going to be.
Yeah. Check
your back office to see what they are, and that'll give you some steer towards what needs to be done during February. Remember,
and it's a short
month. I was about to say the same. It is a short month, so whatever you're going to be doing, then get focused and working on it.
Yeah.
Because that'll set you up for the key month in March, and there could be some really significant growth. Yes, Paul.
Yeah, it's just a thought. Why do they leave it to the new month before they tell you about the next campaign? Why don't they do it, I don't know, even the day before or 2 days before?
The reason's simple. They don't want you waiting for it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean,
devalue the current one, so there's no way they're going to do that. It doesn't make sense to flag it in any way, except perhaps in principle, which is kind of what's happened for the March one, in terms of there'll be an ECBX. We know there's going to be an ECBX in September, for example. There always is. There's going to be another one in November. Because it's the wraparound for convention. Those are, historically written in stone. I doubt very much there's going to be any change in that. March is not necessarily an ECBX month. Normally May is. And because I suspect they're really going for growth this year, they've got the resources to be able to do it. We'll see one in March. We'll see one in May. That'll wrap around the April, which is Easter time.
I'm here.
I don't know why.
Is it me, or can you all, the rest of you hear us all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's you, Paul. So there's no way they're going to flag it early. It just won't happen, I don't think.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a customer incentive as well for this coming month.
Yeah, because if it is an ECBX qualification month, then it'll be point driven as always. It's likely to be 8 or 12 points or whatever. We don't know yet. We'll find out tomorrow. So check your back office in the morning. You'll know what they are. And then your ambition for March in an ECPX month, if you could, whatever the rank is and the volume is, you can work out what that is. If you want help with that, let us know, because we can help you design what needs to be done in order to achieve that next rank. It's numbers based, of course. So yeah, tomorrow check your back office.
Erica, it's good to see you looking so well after your op. You're thriving. Not too long before you're back to work.
All good. Right, anything anybody wants to say before we go? Right, good luck with your week, everyone. We'll see you next weekend, whatever.
Can I stay on with you, Nigel, for a minute?
Yes, of course. Always. Okay, so everyone else, bye-bye.
I will see you at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, okay, mate.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.